daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Well, light the beacons. Welcome back to the Daily Manchester United. I'm Kieran, and that was a win. A 2-0 win. Lovely stuff. Should we end the episode there? There's nothing else we need to talk about. Nothing else happened in the game. No, that's it. Bye, everyone. No. 2-0 goals from Mason Mount and Benjamin Sesko, making it for Sesko back-to-back Premier League games in goals, which is very nice indeed, isn't it? Started off the game really well, didn't we? In terms of Mason Mount, he was jolly on the spot. It's a lovely touch in the box from him to just sort of settle the ball and then finish it very nicely into the bottom right corner. Does he catch it cleanly? I mean, I'll let him decide. But it is a good finish, and it brings us 1-0. And listening on 5 Live in the UK, I sort of had to imagine, picture the scene. And when I look back at it and I sort of looked up a highlight, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, I was able to see what it was like. It was a pretty good goal. I enjoyed it. And yeah, good for Mason Mount. Good goal. Deserves that as well. So we'll see how he, hopefully he can push on. But it was a game where Sunderland, really started out as like that 4-2-3-1, and it was not working. This was a Sunderland team that I was expecting to really put up a huge fight. But then we had the second goal from Benjamin Sesko, and that really put nails in the order at that point. It's a long throw. I think it's headed on by a Sunderland player on that one. And then it's Sesko, who, I don't know how he does it, but the reaction is so clinical to just stick the foot out in the right place at the right time and just put it past the keeper and Roofs, who himself made some great saves in the game. But it made it 2-0. Roofs as well made the save against Bruno Fernandes, where Fernandes manages to get a space free, tries to curl it into the top right-hand corner, and Roofs just about makes sure he puts it onto the bar. It's a fantastic save. And then Ahmad running in, trying to follow up, misses, just a huge miscue. He'll try and say it's a cross, I'm sure, but it is what it is. Hey, we got 3 points. Moves us within a point of Sunderland. That's just, I couldn't have imagined going into that. I couldn't have imagined, getting into a point where we were going to be so close to Sunderland. They're big rivals in this one. But that result at this time of recording does move us, to 10 points, which is amazing. Amazing. That's what we're all here for. It's why we're here. But that result at the time of recording does move us up to 8th place, with teams below us, Chelsea, Everton and Brighton still yet to play. Also Brentford yet to play their game. If they win, they'll get a better goal difference than Manchester United, so that will move them ahead. And well, we could end the game week, I think, as low as 12th looking at it. But to be honest with you, 3 points, and I thought we played quite well, especially in the first half. We played really well. It kind of, I felt, should have been 3, 4, maybe 5 in that first half. We were so, it sounded like, I'm having to go by what it sounds like. So if I don't get finer details right, I do apologise. 3 o'clock kickoffs in the UK are behind nothing. You're not allowed to watch them. So you'll have to bear with me whilst I have to sort of explain whilst I listen. But the big story, the massive story going into this game, of course, was the dropping of Altai and bringing in Lammens. Lammens? I don't think we've really secured and found out what his name is just yet. However, we'll call him what he likes because he had a good game. I don't think he had a lot to do in that first half. It was the second half we really had to start relying on him and make sure that he was, a goalkeeper, which he is. He was claiming crosses. Old Trafford cheering at a goalkeeper claiming a cross. Yeah, that's how bad it's been over the last 2 or 3 years. It's been, but there we go. He gets a clean sheet on his Premier League debut, and that's all you can ask for. So that was really good. I thought, from the sounds of it, Yoro was having a good game. And Burmo had that assist, and then sort of sounded like in the second half, it sort of started to struggle slightly. But, this was a team and this was a result where it just seemed like, again, we seemed to let off the pedal in the second half when we get to it. But I thought Fernandes as well, apart from that shot, I didn't really hear a lot from him in the game. But to sort of end the first half, heart in mouth moment where when I hear Vicky Sparks on 5 Live say, "Oh, and that's Sesko in trouble with a high boot," I'm thinking, "Oh, right, okay, brilliant, thanks for that." We'll be down to 10, 3-2 Sunderland incoming. Here we go again. But no, I managed to sort of try and look back at what the offence was. And that's on field being given as a penalty. And even worse, VAR looked at it, saw it came off a Sunderland player, off his head, and they gave a corner. Amazing. Wonderful stuff. Hey, managed to get overturned, so that was one half of the job. How they gave a corner from it, I'm not entirely sure, but is what it is. We managed to not concede a penalty, which was very nice. I was very much appreciative of that. When we come back, we'll have a bit more into the second half and maybe a bit more of a raw reaction as to how the team was going to be lining up. I've already forgotten my head versus heart, but it's pretty similar, in fairness, to what my heart said than rather what I thought was going to happen. So when we come back, we'll discuss more.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Your body is unique, and Global Sports Podcast Network has partnered with Bionic, the world's most personalised supplements. Bionic provide 100% tailor-made supplements designed to deliver precisely what your body needs at exactly the right levels to optimise your health. No guessing. So click the link in the show notes. Use the code GSPN2025 for 40% off your first month's subscription. Bionic. Don't settle for off-the-shelf solutions made for just anybody. Get what's right for you right now.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
The second half then was a little bit tepid, I think. It was a case of, once it got past the hour mark, it was just trying to close the game down and make sure that Sunderland didn't have too many chances. They still had chances, don't get me wrong. Lammens, were still being tested towards the end of that game. But I think it was a case of they sounded like they weren't, clear-cut chances. It was a case of, it was being managed, which is a phrase I didn't think anybody would be saying at that point. But it was fun to see. Hang on a minute. Yeah, that wind's affected. that wind at Old Trafford affected here. Sorry, apologies. So it was a case of managing the game and making sure that everything was okay. I think we just about did that. Sounded like it's just about we did that. And from what Leon Osman was saying on the 5 Live coverage was that it just seemed like Sunderland was just running out of steam and everything they were trying to do just wasn't working and that belief was starting to fade. So in the end, it was a case of, just make sure this game gets closed down and shut off and make sure, if there is a counter, we try and make sure we get there. A couple of heavy passes as well from the likes of, I think, Fernandes and Mbermo, having those little bit of a heavy passes allowed Roofs to just sort of claim balls that he was able to. But I think coming into the start of this one, I put it in our little group chat of us all together in the United side that I was like, I'm going to have to sound a klaxon here because I wanted this to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen, and now it is happening, and now I'm excited. So that was great. It was great to see Lammens starting goal. Hopefully that's the start of many things and many better things to come. The back three, I think I only got Shaw wrong. Shaw started instead of Maguire, who I thought was going to start. Other than that, De Ligt and Yoro started. Ahmad did start at that right wing back, and it sounded like he did all right. So that's good, apart from that glaring miss on the follow-up to hopefully, would have hopefully made it 3-0. In any case, thought he did okay, sounded like he did okay, so that's good enough for me, especially the 2-0 win. Casemiro paired up with Fernandes in that midfield and Dalot. Now, that's one I got wrong. Dorgu didn't start this game. It was actually Dalot who started it. And, well, him and Shaw had that mix-up in the first half. We could have easily gone 1-0 down so early on in this match, but we didn't somehow. And that meant we were able to just sort of have that solid base. And then, of course, we had the front three, and Mbomo, Sesko and Mount. I thought Cunha was going to start. Cunha was put on the bench for this game, did come on and had a couple of chances. I think overall, I think it was a decent performance. I think it was enough to get us 3 points, but I don't think it was enough to sort of say, yeah, we're going to be challenging for Europe. I'm not convinced just yet. It was a great opening half an hour, and after that, we just sort of tried to, put the game to bed. And going into the second half, it was just, wind it down, calm down, slow the game down, and almost let Sunderland into it. Did we feel threatened? I certainly did feel threatened at some of these opportunities. But nevertheless, 3 points on the board. Hooray! We've got to double digits in points. That is fantastic. We're well on the way to at least matching the points tally from last season. So go and enjoy the rest of your weekend. You can watch Match of the Day tonight, so it's all good. It's all really, really good stuff. International break next. We have Liverpool coming up, but we don't want to think about that right now. Not a chance. So international break is very much on the cards. We play again 19th of October. So we are away at Liverpool, which plenty of time to sort of think about what's going to happen here. I don't have a great feeling about it, but maybe blind optimism will help me through, and it'll help us through as well. Well, that's a little bit of a short reaction for you, a raw reaction to the game, and 3 points on the board. So I'm happy. I'm sure you're happy. Let us know down below who was your man of the match, who was the one who, well, basically sealed this game for us. Was it perhaps Mason Mount running in that sort of box-to-box and that attacking midfield? It seems to have a great game. When he's on form, he's absolutely brilliant. Or perhaps Sesko, with that just instinctive strikers, poachers finish, able to get 2 in front. Perhaps Lammens was your man of the match as well. Or, you can only have one. You can only have one. Don't get greedy. But let us know down below. And maybe who was one that you were surprised started? Let us know. Join the conversation down below. We're on all of the social medias as well, at GSPN Man United. We're on Twitter and X, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and we're on TikTok. So go and start the conversation. Let us know your opinions on the match. We'd love to hear them. If you're listening to us on Spotify or on Apple, don't forget you can watch the episodes on YouTube. We are at GSPN Daily Man United Podcast. It's so long, so you have to remember it. And of course, we couldn't bring you the podcast here at the Daily Manchester United without our partners at Zencastr. Because of the Global Sports Podcast Network, we spent a lot of time selecting our delivery platform, and Zencastr came out the clear winner. With 4K video recording from your phone and AI editing that can remove all of those ums and ahs or any unnecessary words you want to delete from the entire episode. It makes it super easy to do that, and also make sure that delivery is impeccable. So if that sounds like your sort of way of working and you want to start your own podcast and tell your own story, make sure you check out the links in the description to learn more about Zencastr. In the meantime, it is 3 points. We have double digits and frightened. At the time of recording, we are top half of the table. Go and enjoy your weekend. Go and enjoy Match of the Day, and we'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.